Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us virtually. I have an announcement. This is the Office of the City Clerk. I have been informed that we have a delay for the Planning and Land Use Management Committee, and this meeting will not be starting until 10:30. So please feel free to log off and join back at 10:30, or if you'd like to stay logged on with your camera off and muted, that would be acceptable as well. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I have a quick announcement for those of you who just joined, for those members of the public that just logged on to the LA City website to listen to the meeting. The meeting is actually delayed and will not be starting until 10:30. So please either log off, come back, or you can stay tuned, muted if you're in the meeting with your camera off. And once we get started, I will make the announcement. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is just a friendly announcement to let everyone know, those of you who just joined us, that there's a delay in starting the Planning and Land Use Management Committee meeting this morning. We will be starting at 10:30. If there are any further delays, I will make sure to let you all know via the announcements. Also, I would like to request that folks please do not mute anyone else but yourselves. If the number that starts with 669 and ends with 52, that number cannot be muted. Please, I appreciate your efforts in not touching that number and muting that number. Thank you very much.
Everybody, members, staff, city attorney, clerk, please stand by. We plan to start in about 90 seconds. I see that we have 3 members on the screen, Mr. Lee, Mr. Price, and myself, Mr. Harris Dawson. As soon as I get the thumbs up, we're also joined by the inimitable Mr. Gilbert Cedillo.
From City Hall.
The Dean of Elected Officials on the Los Angeles City Council.
Very polite way to say the old man. I'll say have a good day. Was there something I had for you? Thank you for today.
Can we go? All right. We are convening our regular meeting of the Los Angeles City Council's Planning and Land Use Management Committee. As we begin the plum meeting, we will first hear from our planning staff and committee members on any amendments to any agenda items. We will then hear from applicants and appellants on agenda items, subsequently open public comment for at least 45 minutes for items on the agenda. Once public comment is closed, we'll deliberate on these items on our agenda. If we could begin with a roll call by the CLA.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Councilman. Councilman Harris Dawson as chairman.
Present.
Councilman Bob Blumenfield. Absent.
You're on mute. He's on mute.
Oh. Okay. Councilman Kern Price.
Present.
Councilman Gilbert Cedillo.
Present.
Councilman John Lee.
Present.
And Councilman Bob Blumenfield, I see him on.
Yeah, I tried to hit unmute and I hit.
Hang on.
But I am present.
We have a quorum, all members present, Councilman.
Excellent. A full house, as they say. Thank you, Mr. Mejia. All right, we'll begin by hearing from members of our Department of Planning City Planning staff with any amendments to items on today's agenda.
Good morning. This is Jenna Monterosa from City Planning. We do not have any amendments, but we believe we have some forthcoming from respective council.
All right. All right, so we have a few items that we can begin with that won't require public comments. So we can begin with item number 7, if we can read that into the record.
Yes, Councilman. Item 7 is a motion by Councilman Koretz, Ryu, Krikorian. It's instructing the Department of City Planning along with the city attorney to prepare an interim control ordinance with an urgency clause that will prohibit home sharing citywide for more than 10 guests per home sharing listing transaction. I believe there's some amending language that the council office, CD5, will introduce.
All right, so I think we have a representative from either CD5 or Department of City Planning with amendments to read into the record.
Correct.
Now is the time for such a reading.
Councilmember, this is Arthur Varma, Department of City Planning. I will defer to our staff, Matthew Glesney, to read the amendment into the record.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, council members. Good morning, I should say. Happy to read in the amendments that we have discussed with the presenting council offices, Council District 4 and Council District 5. This is a motion calling for an interim control ordinance relating to home sharing activities during the COVID-19 crisis. Given the urgency to this and since there will not be an opportunity for a report back, we appreciate the opportunity to have discussed this with the council offices and the city attorney offices. I believe the proposed amendment that will be in front of you amends the moving clauses as follows. I will read them into the record. The first moving clause would read, I therefore move that the council instruct the Department of City Planning with the assistance of city attorney to prepare and present an interim control ordinance, or ICO, to prohibit home sharing citywide for dwelling units with more than 6 habitable rooms, excluding kitchens and bathrooms per home sharing listing transaction, and to prohibit valet service, catering service, professional stage and sound equipment, disc jockeys, live entertainment event tents, stages, dance floors during home sharing activity during the COVID-19 pandemic, and until after the safer at home orders are lifted, and thereby protect the public safety, health, and welfare of the community. Second moving clause is I further move that the ICO prohibit continued maintenance of a home sharing registration of a unit which is subject of 1 sustained citation for violation of municipal code provisions regarding loud and unruly gatherings or party houses. That's pursuant to LAMC 41.58.1. I further move that the city attorney report back with recommendations on how property owners, lessees, and property managers can be held equally responsible for any violations of the ICO and for reimbursing the city and county for the full cost of all resulting enforcement and contact tracing related to the violations of this ordinance. Finally, I further move that the ICO include an urgency clause, making it effective upon publication and run for 45 days with a 10-month and 15-day extension by council resolution, and can be further extended for an additional 1 year or until after the adoption of the appropriate zoning/land use regulatory controls have been prepared by City Planning Department, adopted by the council, and become effective whichever becomes first. Those are the amendments. Thank you very much. I'd be happy to answer any questions about them as well.
Thank you. All right. I believe item number 8, if we could read that into the record, I believe we have an amendment for that one as well. I think you're on mute, Mr. Mejia.
Sorry. Council members, item 8, this is a vesting zone change ordinance for the replacement of the existing Cedars-Sinai Hospital in CD 11.
All right. Do we have Mr. Douglas or Ms. O from planning?
Hi, Jason Douglas here with Councilmember Bonan's office. We wanted to take the moment to read our support letter in as well, just to save some time. Is that possible?
Sure.
All right. So good morning, Honorable Plum Committee members. My name is Jason Douglas, Senior Planning Deputy with Council District 11. The council member wishes to support a strong support for Cedars-Sinai Marina Del Rey Hospital project's request for a vesting zone change. At a time when our city faces great uncertainty, the renovation and maintenance of critical infrastructure and facilities such as a state-of-the-art hospital before you today is of great importance. Moreover, Cedars-Sinai has proven to be a valuable goodwill and charitable neighbor to the community and partner to countless nonprofits on the west side. Support from organizations like the Del Rey Neighborhood Council, La Via Marina Council and Homeowners Associations, LAX Chamber of Commerce, and the Del Rey Residents Association was hard-earned through tireless outreach and engagement with our constituents. So the council member requests that you approve the vesting zone change before you today with the modified T conditions presented to Plum via communication dated September 16th, 2020. These agreed upon modified T conditions were developed in consultation with the applicant and the neighboring community. So the following amendments read, Mindanao Way traffic signal timing. The applicant shall conduct a traffic analysis prior to issuance of any building permits for the project by the Department of Building and Safety to monitor the traffic flow on Mindanao Way between SR 90 and Lincoln Boulevard. The operational improvements for traffic signal timing and coordination that are recommended by this analysis shall be submitted for approval to the Department of Transportation and California Department of Transportation. And any approved operational improvements shall be implemented prior to the issuance of the final certificate of occupancy for the hotel. The applicant shall bear the full cost of implementation of any recommended operational improvements, including signal traffic timings, signage, and coordination. And the second condition reads, directional and regulatory signage. The applicant shall conduct an analysis of directional and regulatory signage from the project site to the Marina Freeway, SR 90, with the goal of minimizing congestion in the area surrounding the project without detrimentally affecting the construction or operations of the project prior to the issuance of any building permits for the project by the Department of Building and Safety. Operational improvements recommended by this analysis shall be submitted for approval to the Department of Transportation and or California Department of Transportation, and any approved operational improvements shall be implemented prior to the issuance of the final certificate of occupancy for the hotel. The applicant shall bear the full cost of implementation and any recommended operational improvements, including traffic signal timing, signage, and coordination. So those are the two T conditions that we wish for the Plum members to consider today. Thank you for your time.
All right, so that's one amendment. Do we have anything from Department of City Planning on this one? All right.
Ms. Julie, no, we have no additional amendments.
Thank you, Ms. O. All right, item number 11, Mr. Mejia, I believe there are amendments to that one as well.
Yes, Councilman. Item 11, this is, it's inclusive of the environmental clearance, the EIR. It's a vesting zone change and an appeal that has been filed by the applicant for the construction of a new mixed-use project in CD 13.
All right, do you have a representative from CD 13 on this with an amendment, or anybody from Department of City Planning?
Yes, Craig Bullock here from Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell's office. Good morning. The Councilmember is supportive of the actions before you today. We are pleased that the applicant has agreed to augment the number of affordable units on site, as well as a contribution to the Council District 13 Affordable Housing Trust Fund. And we would like to modify the following conditions. One would be a revision of Q Condition 1A to add, pursuant to the project's density bonus, and 17 additional units, or 3% of the base density of 242 units shall be set aside for moderate income households pursuant to HCID Land Use Schedule 1. The other revision would be to add a new Q condition, which would be number 4, which would be the affordable housing. Prior to the issuance of a building permit, the applicant shall contribute $1.5 million to the Council District Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Revision to the density bonus condition number 3 to add the applicant will set aside 7 additional units or 3% of the base density of 242 units for moderate income households pursuant to HCID Land Use Schedule 1, and a revision to the density bonus condition number 5, which is the applicant will also set aside 7 additional units for moderate income households pursuant to HCID Land Use Schedule 1. And then the applicant will have additional modification requests that we're also supportive of. But that's all I have for the moment, unless you have any questions. Our position has been submitted formally to the record at the city clerk's office. It's been posted. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything from Department of City Planning on this one, in addition to Mr. Bullock's additions?
At this time.
Thank you so much. All right, that takes us to our consent calendar. We have items 2 through 6, Mr. Mejia, that the chair recommends we receive on consent. If we could read those into the record.
Yes. Item 2, this is a communication from the mayor relative to the reappointment of Esther Marguayes to the West LA Area Planning Commission. Item 3 is a communication from the mayor relative to the reappointment of Esther Hack to the Harbor Area Planning Commission. Item 4 is a communication from the mayor relative to the reappointment of Ms. Jacqueline Orozco to the South Los Angeles Area Planning Commission. Item 5 is a motion, Weston O'Farrell directing building and safety with the along with the planning department to report back on the location of any metal recycling facilities inside the city and any complaints and their gravity and corrective actions taken by the city. Item 6 is a motion, Cedillo Corretz, requesting the city attorney to prepare an ordinance that would prohibit and suspend any certificate of occupancy for any hotel in the city which is being used to house and detain migrant children and families under the direction of private security companies.
All right, those items are before us with a recommendation that we receive those on consent without objection. Seeing no objection from members. Mr. Mejia, if you could call the roll.
I think I called the roll earlier, Chairman.
I'm sorry, call for a vote. Roll call.
Yes.
Vote.
Councilman Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Councilman Bob Blumenfield. Councilman Curran Price.
Yes.
Councilman Cedillo. That's a yes. And Councilman John Lee.
Yes.
I believe I heard Councilman Bob Blumenfield in the background. Okay, in any event, we have 4 votes. That passes.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for the note, Ms. Margulis, in the chats. So I'm getting word from Department of City Planning that we did have some additions on number 11. That is the case now.
Yes. Good morning.
Yes.
Jason McRae, it's Department of City Planning. The project before Plum today is a Modera Argyle project involving a new mixed-use building consisting of 276 resident dwelling units, of which 13 would be set aside for very low-income households and up to 27,000 square feet of ground floor commercial space. The project will have an FAR of 5.4 to 1 upon build-out. On January 23rd, the City Planning Commission approved the project and recommended the City Council approve a general plan amendment and zone change and height district change. On February 24th, 2020, the applicant appealed the City Planning Commission's approval of the site plan review entitlement. On September 15th, 2020, the applicant submitted a letter requesting modifications to conditions and a revised Exhibit A. Before the committee today are 3 actions: a general plan amendment to Regional Center Commercial from the existing commercial manufacturing land use designation in the Hollywood Community Plan, a zone and height district change removing the existing queue, establishing a new queue corresponding to the proposed project, and establishing height district 2, and an appeal of the CPC decision related to site plan review condition 9. Staff has previously submitted findings relative to the project's compliance with the Hollywood redevelopment plan, inadvertently omitted from the determination for Plum's inclusion in its actions today. Staff understands that the applicant is requesting changes to conditions 9, 16, and condition 24, as well as a revised Exhibit A. The project's design was approved and well received by the CPC, and the refinements proposed by the applicant generally enhance the existing design. Additionally, there are changes requested by CE 13 relative to augmenting the affordable housing requirements for the project. Should the Plum Committee accept these changes, staff respectfully requests that the Plum Committee instruct planning staff to update the conditions of approval, prepare a new ordinance, and update the findings where necessary to reflect the committee's action. This concludes staff presentation and I'm available for any questions.
All right, thank you for that. All right, that takes us to our public comment. We'll begin with our applicants and appellants. So I'll ask staff to call on the applicants and appellants, identify the item number and the name of the person before we hear from them.
We will now open public comment for applicants and appellants. Please be prepared to speak. After I call your name, please press *6 to unmute yourself. Jeffrey Smith, please press *6 to unmute yourself and begin public comment. Jeffrey Smith? Jeffrey Smith, are you there?
Caller, go ahead. We can hear you.
Please press *6 to unmute yourself. What am I putting?
Our caller appears to be having technical difficulties. Caller, please press *6 to unmute and begin speaking.
Steve Luffman, you're now on the call. You can begin your public comment.
Hello, this is Stephen Luffman. There was no sound until right now on the phone line. Just wanted to state that. Hi, this is Steve Luffman on behalf of Historic Preservation in Los Angeles. Good morning, council members. The Sycamore Bungalow Court meets multiple criteria for the designation as a Los Angeles Historic Cultural Monument. It is significant for its association with the rapid development of Hollywood, and it is also an excellent example of a unique two-story bungalow court in the Spanish colonial style. While extant bungalow courts are rare and treasured housing type here in Los Angeles, two-story bungalow courts are especially unique. It is bungalow courts like the one before you that Los Angeles' chief design officer, Christopher Hawthorne, sees as a model for the future of middle-class housing in the city. The Sycamore Bungalow Court was designed by Charles E. Finkelbinder in 1926. Mr. Finkelbinder was a notable architect with 2 buildings on the National Registry of Historic Places and 1 building listed on the California State Point of Historical Interest. In Los Angeles, Mr. Finkelbinder designed mostly single-family and multifamily residential projects, including at least 6 other bungalow courts. Of the 6 bungalow courts he designed, only the subject building and 1 other survive. The Sycamore Bungalow Court also exemplifies significant contributions of the broad cultural, economic, and social history for its association with the rapid development of Hollywood and the surrounding area in the 1920s. The subject building is can you hear me, by the way? Hello?
You're coming across loud and clear and very eloquently.
Thank you. I just wanted a little feedback. I appreciate that.
Anytime. You're doing wonderful.
Great. It's like talking into a void. Okay, so it's also known for the rapid development of Hollywood and surrounding areas in the 20s. The subject building is just 2 blocks from Survey LA's entertainment planning district. Bungalow courts have particular significance in Hollywood. Many were built in the 1920s to 30s to I'm sorry, what was that?
Your time is up, sir. Thank you.
I'm the applicant, aren't I? Don't I have 5 minutes? Hello?
I believe you get 2 minutes.
Can we clarify that, or I only need another minute to finish up?
2 minutes, sir. Thank you for your time. Okay, who am I going to? Jeffrey, item 8.
Jeff Haber.
Okay.
Ask if he wants to speak on behalf of the family.
I've got if Steph, we can request Mr. Jeff Smith again, who we didn't hear the first time.
Jeff Haber will be speaking on item 8. Oh. Jeff, you know how to call. Please begin your comment.
Yes, good morning. I'm sorry that Dr. Smith wasn't able to be available, but this is Jeff Haber from Paul Hastings representing Cedars-Sinai. Thank you very much for taking this project. Let me just spend a couple minutes going through quickly the project. Cedars-Sinai Marina Del Rey Hospital is the only full-service critical care hospital in Council District 11. We are proud to be able to build a new state-of-the-art community hospital that will enable those who live and work in Del Rey and the surrounding areas to receive the highest quality health care without having to leave their neighborhoods. As you may know, for over 100 years, Cedars-Sinai has served as a critical health care resource for the Los Angeles area, and we've committed to major investments in our resources and people to provide the patients with the highest quality medical care. A dedication to excellent care and community is always important, but even more so during unprecedented crises like the one we're facing with COVID-19. We are building the new Marina Del Rey Hospital in order to comply with the California hospital seismic requirement that by the year 2030, all acute care hospitals must be able to withstand a major earthquake and remain fully functional. This major investment of resources will result in a technologically advanced hospital fronting Lincoln Boulevard, which will allow the existing hospital to remain fully operational during construction of the new hospital. Our goal is to be able to enhance community-level emergency medicine services, including the state-of-the-art emergency department, enhanced services in spine, cardiology, orthopedics, urology, gastroenterology, and interventional services such as stroke and expanding current radiology abilities. Cedars-Sinai will also continue to be a community partner in meeting the complex needs of our homeless and members, collaborating with numerous service providers, family clinics, St. Joseph Center, and the people concerned. And I would just say that we are in full support of the proposed conditions that CD11 offered earlier. And I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I need to read a statement for the record regarding the appellants and applicants and the minutes allowed it for them to speak. The statement being appellants and or their representatives and applicants and or their representatives will be allowed to speak for a total of 2 minutes per side unless otherwise noted by the chairman of this committee.
All right, do we have more applicants and appellants? And or appellants?
Yes, we do.
All right.
One moment.
The appellants and applicants and the minutes allowed it for them to speak.
Item 11, Todd Nelson.
Or their representatives and applicants and or
You have to
their
begin your public comment.
speak for a total of 2 minutes per side.
Please lower the volume on your device. There's a feedback.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. You can begin.
Great. Thank you. Good morning, honorable committee members. This is Todd Nelson from Armbruster Goldsmith and Delbeck on behalf of the applicant and the appellant, in this case, Mill Creek Residential Trust. As mentioned earlier by city planning staff, this project is proposing 276 mixed income housing units and ground level commercial space that's proposed to be occupied by a new grocery store at the southeast corner of the intersection of Selma and Argyle Avenues in Hollywood. Throughout the 4-year-long city and public review process, the applicant has worked closely with planning staff as well as Hollywood stakeholders to refine the project's design. In January of 2020, the project was presented to the City Planning Commission, including its augmented affordable housing component that was previously described to you today by Craig Bullock from CD13. The City Planning Commission unanimously approved the project. As also noted by planning staff earlier today, we have subsequently requested several modifications to the CPC's conditions of approval to ensure its viability, as well as approval of a slightly revised set of Exhibit A plans. These requests are included in our September 15th letter that has been submitted to the council file. The applicant is excited to bring this project to Hollywood, and we therefore respectfully request the granting of our appeal to remove site plan review condition number 9 from the CPC's conditions of approvals, as well as the approval of the project today, as shown on the updated Exhibit A plans, along with the requested condition of approval revisions. Thank you very much for your time. Planning Commission, including its augmented affordable housing component that was previously described to you today by Craig Bullock from CD13. The City Planning Commission unanimously approved the project.
Item 12, Dana Salas. You're now on the call. You can begin your public comment.
And put
Hello, Dana.
all that grief.
Oh my God, the other caller is not even here.
Andrew, they just tried to unmute me. Did they reach out to you?
Not yet, no.
Item 12, Andrew Fogg. You can begin your public comment.
Yes, hi. Hi, good morning. This is Andrew Fogg from Cox, Kessler, and Nicholson on behalf of the applicant. This case has been thoroughly reviewed by the city. It was filed in March 2019 and had a public hearing in October 2019, and also received unanimous support from the Mid-City West Neighborhood Council.
The matter before you today is a SCIPI, which is statutory exception under CEQA, which means it was created by the legislature to encourage these types of developments. The staff report explains how the project qualifies for the SCIPI, although we'd like to highlight a few points. First, the location and characteristics of the site are appropriate, meets the statutory criteria. It's not located in environmentally sensitive areas, such as a wetland fire zone, and is directly adjacent to a major transit stop. It does not contain more than 200 residential units, and it will add new affordable housing in excess of what's required under CEQA and not displace any existing affordable. And it will contain more than 50% residential floor area. It's approximately 65%. Though this is a SCIPI hearing, we note that many of the comments relate to the project's TOC Tier 4 status. Nothing in TOC prevents the use of a mixed-use project, expressly includes mixed-use developments. Here, the underlying zoning allows 1.5 FAR of non-residential uses, and the project dedicates all FAR above 1.5 to residential uses. The project exceeds the Tier 4 standards of 11% EL, extremely low-income units. It has approximately 15.7% of the total units, 18 extremely low and 1 moderate unit. And again, the project is directly adjacent to major transit. The project's calculation of lot area for dwelling units and guest rooms was done properly. There's been no double counting of lot area. And finally, we note that a couple of people have commented on the number of parking spaces. The project's providing parking in excess of what is required by the code. That being said, parking is not a criteria for a SCIPI, and pursuant to SB 743, parking is expressly excluded from CEQA for infill projects in transit areas such as this. We thank the staff for their review, and we believe the SCIPI should be approved. Thank you.
Item 10, Jared Lancelot. You'll have the floor. Jared? Jared?
Hello?
Hi, Jared. You can begin your public comment now. Hello?
Hello?
You can begin your public comment.
For Fedora, we performed all studies required and met all criteria for the exemption we received.
Thank you. And that exhausts the speakers list for applicants and appellants.
Mr. Chair, I believe that ends the applicants and appellants segment, sir.
Thank you. So now we'll go to general public comment on specific items and general public comment.
Mr. Chairman, would you like me to read into the record the
remaining
rules?
items?
No, the rules for public comment.
Yes, let's read the rules for public comment.
Okay, committee members, at the discretion of the plum chair, a total of 45 minutes has been designated for public comment on all items, and once that item comes to an end, no further public comment will be heard. Members of the public who would like to offer public comment on the items listed on the agenda should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 161-644-6631 and then press number sign. Press number sign again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press asterisk and the number 9 to request to speak. During public comment, city staff will call on members of the public by the last 4 digits of their phone number. Once the caller hears the last 4 digits of their phone number, they are automatically unmuted and should be ready to speak. Once the caller is ready to speak, he or she must state their name and the item or items they are calling to speak on. Failure to do so will result in the call being muted and subsequently disconnected. Members of the public wishing to speak on one agenda item only shall have an opportunity to speak for 1 minute. Members of the public wishing to speak on more than one item shall state that and shall be allowed to speak for a total of 2 minutes. This concludes the comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mejia. So folks have heard our public comment rules and procedures. We'll begin our public comment with comment from council offices who have projects or items on the agenda today. So if we could begin by calling on those council offices.
Councilmember Harris Dawson, this is Emma Howard from Council District 4 to speak on item 12.
Yes.
Great. Good morning, council members. My name is Emma Howard. I'm the Director of Planning for Councilmember David Rue, Council District 4. We just wanted to provide some general context comments on the project because the project before you today, item number 12, is a bit unusual. Out of hundreds of proposed and entitled transit-oriented communities projects in Los Angeles, this represents, as far as we are aware, the very first combined hotel and TOC project going through a public hearing process. In addition, there are a very low number of sustainable communities project exemptions, known as SCIPPs, that the city has processed, I believe less than a dozen in total. Today before you is a review of the compliance of the SCIPP. However, the associated project was heard by the zoning administrator in October of 2019. Throughout the fall and winter of 2019, the hearing at Plum was continued to ensure that additional community input on the SCIPP could be processed by city planning staff and considered by the council member. During this additional time, the planning department maintains their recommendation that the SCIPP is the appropriate level of environmental review. Councilmember Rue has spoken previously on his desire to see additional affordable housing units included in this project, especially as the project benefits from incentives related to the TOC and streamlined review process. As hotels are quasi-residential uses, which are not required to contribute affordable units under the zoning incentives programs that were used in this project, the hotel project portion of this project walks a fine line, and the council member has introduced a motion yesterday asking the planning department to further review their policies, hopefully using this project and others as a case study to ensure that hotels are not benefiting under the code from incentives intended for truly residential projects. In May 2020, the applicants submitted a revised application to city planning to increase their allocation of extremely low income units by nearly a third, from 14 to 18 units, and add one moderate income unit at the request of the neighborhood council. The total provision of affordable units in the residential portion of the project now stands at nearly 16% of the housing portion of the project over the code required 11. Councilmember Rue is pleased to see these additional units added to the overall project. In reviewing the project's SCIPP, the councilmember has a high level of concern as to the process this project took. Finalizing the environmental review at Plum, while hearing the case through the zoning administrator, created a parallel review track for portions of the project that were better reviewed holistically. The unavoidable delays at the Plum Committee due to the COVID pandemic means we are now discussing environmental review for a project which had its public hearing nearly a year ago. Going forward, this process should be changed to provide for better clarity and public input. The council member recommends policy changes such that environmental documents are always heard at the same time and by the same body as the case. If state law mandates that the Skippy must be referred to this committee for approval separate from the case itself, the council member would want to make sure this case is a good example as to why the Department of City Planning should ensure the case portion of the project is always heard after the environmental review. This will allow the project decision maker and the public to have the environmental review before them at the time of case review and create a better process. As we asked at the ZA hearing, we ask that this committee apply their extra sensitivity during the public comment period today. We fully anticipate there will be public comment on different aspects of the project that might fall out of the scope of review today due to the separation of environmental and project hearings. Our office will be requesting the zoning administrator to listen to this hearing record as we are expecting a number of additional comments and suggestions, particularly regarding the circulation plan for the alley. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, CD4. Now I believe we have comments from Council District 11. Council District 5.
Thank you, council members. I want to thank Mac Lesney for reading into the record on item number 7. I appreciate his effort there while I was having some technical difficulties. And yes, we support that statement made. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. So now we can go to public comment from members of the general population. We'll start with our first caller. We'll go for at least 45 minutes.
Okay, public comment is now open. After I call the last 4 digits of your phone number, please be prepared to speak. Please state by stating your name and the items you are speaking on. Caller 4064. Please state your name and the items you're speaking on.
Yes, hello, ma'am.
Hello, you can begin your public comment.
Yes, hello. My name is Jason Green, and I am in a work for the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, and we are in support of the project. Thank you.
Caller 1403. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 1403. Caller, please put the volume down. Caller 90.
Anybody in the office? Lewis or somebody?
Caller 90.
Are there any other exceptions to the
Okay, bye.
pre-job conference form and the assignments we've been
Caller
discussing?
9090. Please lower the volume on your device. There's a feedback.
Again, this is on phase 1, so there'll be at least 2 more phases, but I think we accomplished a lot today.
Caller 9090.
Yes, hi. Good morning. My name is Omar Galindo. I'm with UA Plumbers Local 78, and we're in support of the Cedar Sinai project. Can they hear me?
We can hear you.
Loud and clear. Please proceed.
Just remove.
Not by me. Zero 0471 0471. Please state your name and the items you're speaking on.
Freddy Flores, item number 8.
Thank you. You have 1 minute. You can begin your comment now.
I haven't even started the meeting. The meeting hasn't even started yet, so I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard anything.
You're in public comment, sir. So you got to make your public comment now. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I'm calling in regarding the building trades, and I'm calling in support of the project for the Cedar Sinai. Thank you.
Caller 1200. Please state your name and the items you're speaking on. Caller 1200.
Hello? Item
Hello,
11.
hi. You're now in the meeting. Please state your name and the items you're speaking on.
Fred Rosenthal, item 11.
Thank you. You have 1 minute.
Should I speak now?
Yes.
Hi there. My name is Fred Rosenthal. I'm the current property and business owner operating my business at the 1546 Argyle site. I'm speaking in favor of the project. It's a really well-conceived project that satisfies the requirement for additional housing right by the metro stop and in the area with an affordable housing component, as well as ground floor retail, which is badly needed, a supermarket to service all the apartments and the projects in the adjoining area. It's critical, and the only supermarket around is Trader Joe's, and it's completely overwhelmed by all the existing apartments that were recently built. So I'm speaking highly in favor of this, and I hope the board approves as it's submitted. Thank you.
Caller 4265. Please state your name and the items you're speaking on.
And the only supermarket around is Trader Joe's.
Caller 4265. Please lower the volume on your device. There's a feedback.
So I hope the board approves as submitted. Thank you.
Caller 4265.
Caller 4265.
Yes, good morning, Carlos Torres.
State your name and the items you're speaking on.
Yes, my name is Carlos Torres. I'm the Director of Environmental Health and Safety for Los Angeles Unified, and in support of item number 5.
Thank you. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. As you know, I previously provided my thoughts to this committee on the dangers posed by an ultra-hazardous metal recycler situated right next door to Jordan High School in Watts. Last week, I walked the Jordan High School campus with Superintendent Austin Buettner. He looks to me to ensure the safety of our school community. And I must tell you that I'm having a great difficulty doing this. Mr. Buettner was astonished at what he saw and asked me to share his thoughts with you this morning. He was frankly appalled that a school and the brand new Jordan Downs redevelopment were at risk from a variety of serious impacts, such as the emission of metal particulates and extremely dangerous shrapnel and other projectiles that fly over the Atlas wall onto our school. This is a substantial risk to students, staff, and community. We are completing a facilities upgrade of about $100 million at Jordan High School. In addition, the city required about $1 billion for the redevelopment to enhance the quality of life for Watts residences. To allow these properties to be recontaminated and residents to be harmed is unthinkable, and this could be all remedied if this facility is resituated away from sensitive populations.
Thank you. That's your time.
I support this motion and urge you to direct your Department of Building and Safety to ensure at least temporary safety measures are put into place. I'm shocked that this level of incompatibility and danger is allowed to take place not only in our great city, but in an underserved neighborhood. Thank you for your time.
Caller 5934. Caller 5934, please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 5934.
Hello?
Hello, please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
Julia Schneider.
And the item you'd like to speak on, ma'am?
I'm just speaking on my business. Oh, 639 La Brea specifically.
Okay, you have 1 minute, ma'am. You can begin.
Okay. Hi. So I own a business that's walking distance from the 639 La Brea project, and it's actually a family-owned corner mart. It's right on La Brea as well. And just with everything that's happened with COVID this year and, you know, the economy, we really need the business right now more than ever, and we need the hotel guests and residents of the building to really support our business and support our community and continue doing that. Thank you.
Caller 5556. Please state your name and the items you're speaking on. Caller 5556. Caller 5556.
Yes, hello?
Hello, can you please state your name and the items you're going to speak on?
Yes, my name is Lauren DeMornier. I'm supporting the 639 La Brea project. I'm really excited that there's finally going to be a hotel in Mid-City. But as of right now, people want to visit. They either need to stay in Hollywood or downtown. So it would be really great if you supported this project. We really need a hotel in Mid-City. I support this project, and I hope you will too.
Caller 3484, please state your name and the items you're going to speak on. Caller 3484.
Yes, Doug Barish speaking on item 8.
You have 1 minute. You can begin.
Good morning, honorable council members. My name is Doug Barish, and I am chair of the Planning and Land Use Committee for the Delray Neighborhood Council. The Delray Neighborhood Council Board voted in unanimous support of the Cedars-Sinai Hospital project before you today. The Cedars organization worked diligently with our committee and with the community stakeholders, and in doing so, set a new standard in Delray for community engagement. We are very fortunate to have a partnership with the Cedars organization. We want to say thank you to Dr. Jeff Smith, Gabby Flores, and the entire Cedars team for your commitment to Delray. I'd also like to recognize Susan Vogelsang and Bob Herrera, Marina, for your incredible hard work and dedication to the community. And finally, thank you to Jason Douglas, Len Wynn, and Alex Bartrosov of Council District 11 for your brilliant leadership, and of course to the Honorable Councilmember Bonin for your most cherished support of the Delray community. Thank you all, and be well.
Yeah. Caller 7901.
I need to call you right back. I'm sorry. Thanks. Bye. Hello?
Hello, would you like to still give your public comment?
Yes, I would. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Please give your name and the items you're speaking on?
My name is Elizabeth Benson Four. I'm the CEO at Venice Family Clinic, and I'm speaking in favor of Cedars-Sinai proposal for their hospital in the Marina. Venice Family Clinic supports this proposal, and having Cedars in the Marina in a more expansive way will truly help us with coordinating our services for our patients who are very much in need. We serve 28,000 people with very low incomes, many of whom are homeless, and having Cedars-Sinai's services expanded in the Marina will allow better access to care for our patients.
Caller 7184. Caller 7184, please state your name and the items you're going to speak on. Caller 7184.
Hi, my name is Reese Sanchez, and I'm calling about the La Brea project, and I'm calling to support the La Brea project fully and the Mid-City neighborhood. The Mid-City West Council is our voice for the project, and I hope you guys continue with this project. Thank you for your time.
Caller 9484. Please state your name and the items you're going to speak on. Caller 9484.
Yes. Hi.
Hello, please give your name and the items you're going to speak on.
Hi, my name's Charlotte, and I'm going to be speaking on the La Brea project.
Thank you. You have 1 minute. You can begin your public comment now.
Hi, my name's Charlotte. I live really close to this project, and I really appreciate all the communication from the developer. They were really great at my neighborhood council, Mid-City West, and the council supports the project. I support the project, and I hope you guys support the projects too. And that's all. Thank you.
Caller 9024. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
You're saying it?
How's it?
Caller 9024.
Hello?
Hello, please give your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
Reese Watts, item 12.
Thank you. You have 1 minute. You can begin.
Hello, my name is Reese Watts. I live about 1.5 miles from this project, and I am in full support of its development. I think the new affordable housing and hotel will be great for people looking to move into the area, and all our near transit stop making the area even more convenient. I support this project, and I hope everyone else will too. That's it.
Caller 9318. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 9318. Caller 9318.
Hello?
Hello. Can you please give your name and the item you'd like to speak on?
Yes, sure. It's item number 12. My name is Tony Ann Marinaccio,
And I just wanted to say that I live less than 1 mile away from the project. I live on Rossmore, and we definitely do need more housing, and we could really use the new affordable housing units. So, and they're also saying that absolutely no one will be displaced. So I hope that you will listen to the neighborhood council, and I do support this project, and that you guys will support the project. And that's all I have to say.
Caller 4975. Caller 4975. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Hello, caller.
Yes,
Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
sure. My name is Paul. I'm speaking on 639 La Brea.
Thank you. You have 1 minute.
Sure. Hi, my name is Paul, and I support 639 La Brea. This would be the only hotel in the area. The other options are in Hollywood or DTLA. This gives residents better options for family members to stay nearby. It would also reduce Airbnb impact on local neighborhoods and provide an influx of patrons for local community and local businesses. Thank you. That's my time.
Caller 6606. Caller 6606, please state your name and the item you're speaking on. Caller, please lower the volume on your device. There's a feedback. Caller 6606.
Hello, my name is Mason Smith, and I'm calling about item 12. I live near the proposed project, and I'm actually calling to urge you to reject their environmental review today. They're not providing the energy savings because they're using an out-of-date standard, and they're claiming to beat. And I don't think they're actually doing everything that they need to do to qualify for this exemption. And I think that all of our buildings should be efficient and not let anyone get around the rules, especially regarding environmental streamlining like this. Thank you.
Caller 5305. Caller 5305, please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
Oh, that's what I was looking for. That's your bag back there, right? I mean, I figure it wasn't anyone else's. Yeah. Okay. I figure it wasn't anyone else's.
Caller 5305.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Can you please state your name and the items you wish to speak on?
Yes, my name is Monique, and I am speaking on the La Brea project. I live a couple blocks over from the area, and there would be a metro line built really close to this project. So I feel like it would be a perfect location for the hotel and building guests. I fully support this project, and I really hope you guys do as well.
Caller 2555, please state your name and the items you're speaking on. Caller 2555.
Items you wish to speak on? Yes, my name is Monique, and I am speaking on the La Brea project. I live a couple blocks over from the area, and there will be a metro line built really close to this project. application for the hotel and building.
Caller, please mute.
I really support this project, and I really hope you guys do as well.
Caller, please put the volume down on your device. There's a feedback.
My name is Susan Vogelsang, and I'm item number 8. I'm the coordinator of the Villa Marina Council work group that's been engaged in regular dialogue for the past couple of years with representatives from Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Our Villa Marina is a neighborhood comprised of 685 homes. Townhomes were located directly across the street from the hospital. We are very excited to have a top-rated hospital in our community. However, due to its location, it's going to cause some significant challenges to our neighborhood during the 5 years of demolition and development and afterwards. We are alarmed recently to learn of the amount of traffic it's anticipated will be exiting during peak hours at the traffic light at the end of our villa. Upon completion of this project, which is directly across from the hospital, upon complete of this project, we will forever have the main entrance and exit of the hospital at the traffic light at the end of our street. We are very appreciative of the response of both Councilman Bonin's office and Cedars to work out additional conditions, 8 and 9, that have recently been added to address the concerns that we have. We strongly support these 2 additional conditions as necessary to be approved for the entitlement application. Provided these 2 additional conditions, we are supportive of it, provided these are passed. Thank you.
Caller 9430.
Response of both Councilman Bonin's office and Cedars to work out additional conditions, 8 and 9, that have been added to address the town. We support these 2 additional conditions as necessary to be approved for the entitlement application. Provided these 2 additional conditions, we are supporting.
Hello?
Hello? Can you please state your name and the items you wish to speak on?
Yes, thank you. This is Charlie Carno, and I want to speak on item 12. Am I on? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. You can continue.
All right, thank you. It's Charlie Carno with Unite here. On Tuesday, the City Council voted in favor of the developer on the Venice Place project and said that hotel rooms do count as residential uses. Today, we have the La Brea Bliss project, and now the city planners say that hotel rooms don't count as residential uses, and so it doesn't exceed the Skippy limitations. And we see that this new interpretation benefits this developer. How are we supposed to trust the city planners when on Tuesday they point to Municipal Code 12.03 and say hotels are residential, and on Thursday they point to the same municipal code and say hotels are commercial and not residential? It's noteworthy that it's interesting that the same land use and planning lobbyist represents both La Brea Bliss and the Venice Place. Thank you very much for your consideration. Hello? Hello? Did you hear me?
Thank you for your comment. Caller 7331. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on. Caller 7331.
Hello, this is Christina Davis. I'm the president and CEO of the LAX Coastal Chamber of Commerce. I'm speaking on item number 8. Our chamber represents 600 businesses in Westchester, Playa del Rey, Marina Del Rey, and Playa Vista. Thank you, council members. Our letter of support should be in your file. The chamber's mission is to preserve and increase the quality of life in the region, and Cedars investment fulfills one of the key requirements in that mission. As we encourage our residents to live, work, and play in their community, having a critical care hospital in our region makes this goal possible. And now, more than ever, we see how critical it is that we invest in the highest quality of care and facilities. We encourage you to approve Cedar's application for a new 160-bed hospital, and I thank you for your time.
Caller 2531. Caller 2531. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on. Caller 2531, please lower the volume on your device. There's a feedback of the meeting. Caller 2531, you can begin your comment now.
Hi, thank you. I'm going to speak about item number 9. My name is Kylie Cristiano, and I want to comment about the Sycamore Bungalow Court. I'm a resident and have been so for about 5 years, and just wanted to let the council know that this building isn't just about history, it's about, and will continue to be, and has always been, a community, just by design. And I think we've really realized that during COVID-19, where, you know, a lot of people don't have anyone around them, and we have this fantastic setup where we can socially distance and see our neighbors. And we've staved off a lot of isolation during this time because of the design of this building. I originally moved to Sycamore because of my appreciation for the architecture, but it's become much more than a beautiful and affordable place to live. Please support this designation to preserve this wonderful building and community. Thank you.
Caller 3277. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 3277. Caller 3277. Caller 9948. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 9948.
Hello? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on?
Yes. My name is Ashley Suarez, and I'm speaking on the La Brea project. I live near. Okay. I live nearby the project, and I really love the design of the building. I like the fact that it's not too tall, and there's also a lot of parking. As a frequent Metro user, I also like the fact that it is next to a Metro spot, and I think it is amazing that they incorporated a hotel as well as housing. So I think this will be great for the neighborhood, and I fully support this project. That's all. Thank you.
Can you please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on? Caller 0715.
My name is Ashley.
Please lower the volume on your device. The feedback of the meeting.
Okay, just a moment.
But you can state your name for the record and the items you'd like to speak on.
Okay, I'm trying to find, I'm trying to find out how to turn that. Okay. All right, am I supposed to start?
Yes, you can begin now.
Hello, my name is Barbara Gowan. I'm a board member of the 6th Street Miracle Mile Neighborhood Association. I also represent the neighborhood on Mid-City West Community Council. Our neighborhood physically abuts the project. The project circulation plan forces 100% of commercial and passenger vehicles to traverse the narrow alley that is the only access for hundreds of residents to get to and from their homes on Detroit, which is one way. These residents of the mom-and-pop furniture business abutting the alley will be blocked and endangered by this tenfold increase in alley traffic. This neighborhood sought advocacy from Mid-City West Community Council in 2019, only to discover later their board lied about never having met with us and instead conducted extensive ex parte communication to reach understandings with this developer. Absent enough parking for the affluent clientele, we will see a huge influx of rideshare vehicles to the site, which are now known to greatly increase both congestion and greenhouse gases due to deadheading. Please reject this environmental clearance. Thank you.
Caller 5903. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 5903.
To reach understandings with this developer.
Please lower the volume on your device. There's a delayed feedback of the meeting. Caller 5903, you can begin your public comment now.
Good morning. This is Diana Yadoyan with the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce to speak on item 11.
Thank you. You have 1 minute.
Thank you, council members, for this lovely marathon meeting and for hanging in there. I'm here to speak on support of the Madera Argyle project. And on behalf of our members of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, this project is a unique and welcome addition for the growing Hollywood community, with the inclusion of the 27,000 square foot grocery store, as well as the 276 desperately needed housing units within walking distance of many public transportation options. It's now more than ever important to support projects that bring short-term and long-term jobs to our communities, as well as housing units at all income levels. So we're incredibly grateful to this entire team for working with stakeholders in the community to ensure it best fits the area. Thank you again, and we just urge you to move this project forward quickly and to support. Thank you.
Thank you. Caller 8936. Caller 8936. Caller 8936. Caller 7666. Caller 7666. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on. Caller 9461. Caller 9461. Caller 9461, can you please lower the volume on your device? There's a delayed feedback of the meeting. But you can state your name for the record and the items you'd like to speak on.
My name is Ilse Guerra, and I like to speak on item number 12.
All right, you have 1 minute.
I am a student at Cal State LA from Koreatown, Council City District 4 originally. We need sustainable communities, which is why I ask you to reject the fast-track environmental review. Their energy calculations are based on outdated information. Watch said in their letter, their environmental documents aren't specific on how they actually get people out of their cars and using transit or other ways we might mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. If We are going to fast track this project environmental. We need more. Please reject this sustainable communities project as an exemption today. Thank you.
Caller 1903, please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 1903. You please lower the volume on the device. Caller 1903.
Hello, yes, my name is Alex Enriquez, and I'm calling in support of item 9. I wanted to piggyback on something that Kylie said about the community that's formed there by design. The building was built specifically to house entertainment industry professionals, writers, actors, every level of the industry, and we have kept that tradition alive to this day. We have a robust tradition of people at all levels of the industry that do work, that do live here and have lived here, and I'd like your support in helping keep that community contiguous to at least its upcoming 100th year anniversary. Thank you in advance for your support.
Caller 0642, please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 0642. Caller 0642.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? My name is Sean Mann.
Good morning. We can hear you. Please begin your comment.
Hi, good morning. My name is Sean Mann. I'm a representative with the Carpenters Union, and I'm here to speak on item number 8, for the new Cedars-Sinai project. We believe that it's desperately needed for this area, and it will create a lot of jobs for the area and help, especially in this economic hardship that we're going through with the COVID-19 crisis. So we're urging you to pass this project. Thank you very much.
Good morning. We can hear you. Please begin your comment. Caller 0437, please lower the volume on your device. There's a delayed feedback of the volume. Caller 0437, can you please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on?
Yeah, my name is Richard Flegel, item 8. I'm the president of the Villa Milano Homeowners Association. I want to urge you to support the Cedars-Sinai project with the added conditions. And I would also urge the Plum to please look at the comments or public posting, because they have very specific ideas that take longer than a minute to articulate, but really help clarify the issues here. So I thank you guys for your attention, and women for your attention this morning. I appreciate all the work that you do, and I hope you'll support us in this. Thanks very much.
Caller 4581. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
I'm the president of the Villa Milano Homeowners Association.
Caller 4581. There's a delayed feedback of the meeting. You have to lower your volume.
Added conditions. I would also urge the Plum to please look at the comments.
Can you please state your name and the items you wish to speak on?
Yes. Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Good morning. We can hear you.
Okay, I can speak now, right?
Correct.
Great. All right, my name is Roberto Mazariegos. I'm speaking on item number 12. I'm a Mid-Hollywood resident. I'm here today to oppose the environmental review of this project. Again, I'm here today to oppose the environmental review of this project. The project can do much more to improve its use of water, energy. We should be using strong environmental standards for our buildings. Our families will have to live with the consequences of this decision for many generations to come. We are in the climate crisis, I believe. I think so. The city council, who is representing the city as leaders of the city, should make sure the buildings that they approve have the best air quality measures. We should prevent greenhouse gases. Our families will be breathing this air, and our children will be will have to live with this environmental issues that we pass on to them. I am worried about the proposed hotel and housing as well. The project environmental review is being rushed. Before we even decide on the underlying project, I believe that we're supposed to, make suggestions about the traffic, energy, climate change, and water use, and not talk about the underlying project.
Thank you.
I believe.
Your time, sir.
Thank you.
Caller 1403. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on. Caller 1403.
All items. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I want to speak on all the items. The general public comment, por favor. How much time? How much time, Marquise, do I get? Do I get my 9 minutes?
You get 2 minutes. Your time has already started.
Okay. Treat me like a nigger. Good afternoon, you fucking niggers. And the Honorable Gil Cedillo, I'm so sorry you have to hang with those people, the low class. Now, we have a whole bunch of projects on the list. One is the Marina Del Rey. That is a beautiful, beautiful place, but the problem is it has a covenant where no niggers and no poor folks are allowed on Mindanao Way under a 1954 treaty with Janice Hahn's father. Now, Janice Hahn's trying to work to get rid of that covenant, but without a $140,000 minimum annual income, you won't be able to cross the fucking street. So I don't know why you need your own hospital. Go to Cedar Sinai. That's where all the rich folk died. Cedar Sinai. Ronald Reagan, when he had his stroke, went there for. Yes, all kinds of corruption I've been seeing today, taking public comment at the end, bunching everything illegal. But let me just say that Gil Cedillo is innocent, and the rest of you are guilty. So on behalf of CD1, on behalf of everybody in the American community, have a motherfucking wonderful Rosh fucking China, all you greedy juju bears, as you continue to steal all of our money, and we continue to fight for our civil rights to an apartment, a bathroom, and running hot water. That's what we want, fool. That's all we want. A bus ticket out of L.A. no longer will do. They're just sitting in squalor all day and night, waiting on Zoom for 2.5 hours while Marquise finished at his Starbucks and his croissant, imported, by the way, from Sweden. Thank you, developers, for giving him that luxury.
Thank you.
Goddamn me. Goddamn fucking me. Oh.
Caller 9790. Name and the items you'd like to speak on. Can you please lower the volume on your device? There's a delayed feedback of reading. Caller 9790, please lower the volume on your device. Caller 5990. Caller 5990. Can you please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, we can hear you. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on for the record.
Hi, my name is Joshua Christensen. I am a union carpenter, and I'd like to speak on item number 8.
Thank you. You have 1 minute. You can begin now.
Thank you for your time. Again, my name is Josh Christensen. I'm speaking on behalf of this project and in full support of this project. This project will create a lot of mortgage-paying jobs and will put a lot of local people to work. It's also give opportunity for apprenticeship for newcomers to be able to learn a trade and to be successful in life. And that's the most important thing, is to help people become successful and create mortgage-paying jobs. Thank you for your time. And again, we push to approve this project.
Caller 8168. Caller 8168. State your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 81.
Hello?
Hi, you can begin your public comment now.
Hello, this is Anne-Marie Odie. I'm here to speak on behalf of Ron Miller and the 150,000 members of the unions of the Los Angeles and Orange Counties Building Trades Council. We strongly support this project. In light of the current coronavirus pandemic, it's clear that we need better than ever healthcare facilities built to the state of the art by the most qualified union workers. We appreciate your consideration. We support this project strongly, and we look forward to an approval. Thank you.
Caller 2045. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on. Caller 2045.
Hello.
Hello, please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Khalid McCracken. I'd like to speak on the La Brea project.
You have 1 minute. You can begin.
Hello, this is Khalid McCracken. I just wanted to talk about La Brea project. I think it's a great opportunity for our community with the fair price living situations they'll be giving to everyone. I also think that they have put more housing units than required, so I think that it's going to be even easier to fill out more people into these communities. And that's all I really had to say. Thank you.
Caller 1770. Caller 1770. Please begin your public comment. You can start your state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller 1770. Caller 9752. Caller 9752. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
Good afternoon, Jordan Sisson, item 12, La Brea Bliss Project.
You have 1 minute. You can begin now.
Thank you. Good afternoon, honorable council members. I'm a land use equal attorney speaking on behalf of Local 11 regarding the project. In my 1 minute, I want to highlight a single issue. This is a highly unusual hotel TOC project. As Councilmember Wu's office mentioned, this seems to be the first hotel project seeking to take advantage of the TOC incentives. Here, however, the project uses a substantial amount of its available square footage for hotel uses, rather than dwelling units or apartments, which is unlike any of the 300-plus TOC projects processed by the city to date. As a result, less market and affordable residential units are being provided here. So too, detailed comments have already been given, highlighting that this project double counts lot area and the calculations is in breach of the code. Again, this benefits hotel use at the expense of housing. In short, LA is in a housing crisis, and the TOC incentives are intended to produce real housing opportunities, not more hotel rooms. City's planning, interpretation...
Thank you, that's your time. And that concludes our general public comment portion of the meeting today.
Thank you to everyone who's called in and gave testimony on our items. That concludes all the folks who called in on all items for our agenda today. Mr. Mejia, we're going to begin our deliberations with item number 7.
Yes, Councilman. Item 7 was or is a motion corrects Ryu Krikorian instructing city planning along with the city attorney to prepare an interim control ordinance as it relates to home sharing in the city and placing a cap on the number of guests during listing transactions during the COVID pandemic. Councilman, the Department of City Planning read into the record amendments to the moving clauses from the original motion introduced by Mr. Koretz. His deputy is in agreement as to the suggested changes.
All right, so we'll accept those changes. Are there any other comments from council district or staff on this matter? All right. Yes?
No, Committee Chair. No, not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so this item is before us. Are there any questions or comments on this item, members? Mr. Blumenfield?
Yeah, just a question in terms of, and I'm not sure if this was handled by the language, but when we say guests, does that mean registered and non-registered guests? And the reason why I ask is, obviously, the point of this is to prevent the big parties from going on, and if we're just talking about registered guests, that's not really linked to the number of people that are going to show up at a party.
Yes, Councilmember Blumenfeld, this is Matt Gillespie, City Planning. That was a concern that led to some changes in the draft as amended. We actually deleted the provision about the number of guests for that very reason, that we weren't sure that language would catch folks coming over temporarily for a gathering or a party, which we understand is the main intent of the ICO. So, and it's also very hard to enforce, right, who's there at a given moment in terms of any proactive enforcement. So the amended motion in front of you essentially puts a cap on the size of the home rather than the number. I will note that the current ordinance already limits total occupants to 2 persons per room, and it also limits outdoor gatherings already of more than 8. The new proposed language would essentially put regulations temporarily on homes of a certain size, more than 6 or more habitable rooms, as the main way to regulate, in addition to the other prohibitions on things like sound equipment and valet services and catering. So there was a 10-person guest prohibition initially in the original motion, as well as a 6 habitable room. The amended motion removes the 10-person guests because we felt like the way it was written was mostly just about booking folks who actually book the listing rather than folks who come over for a temporary gathering. So hopefully that answers your question.
You can't book a room that's more than 6? or you can't book a house that has more than 6 habitable rooms, or you just can't have it habitate more than 6 rooms. Like what happens with a 8-room house?
Yes, Matt Gillespie, planning. Our understanding, the language in front of the council would basically put a prohibition on renting any home sharing dwelling unit with more than 6 habitable rooms. And so our understanding of that is we have that information on file. That's information we already ask for when folks register. So our understanding is that would require us to go through that and temporarily suspend the large homes. We believe it's less than 5% of the total are at that limit, as well as put some safeguards against future registrants that have more than 6 rooms during the COVID emergency.
Okay, I mean it's not as direct on the issue, but it is a way to get at it. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Other members? Thank you, Mr. Blumenfield. If there's nothing else, I'll move that we adopt this matter. Is there a second?
As amended, Councilman.
Adopt as amended, yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Lee. Can you call the roll for votes, Mr. Mejia?
Councilman Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Councilman Bob Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Councilman Curran Price.
Aye.
Councilman Gilbert Cedillo. That's an aye. Councilman John Lee.
Aye.
We have 5 members, unanimous.
All right, thank you so much. That item carries. That moves us to item number 8.
Committee members, item 8 is the categorical exemption from CEQA and a draft ordinance for a vesting zone change for the replacement of the existing Cedars-Sinai Hospital in CD 11.
All right, any questions or comments on this matter from members? All right, any additional content from our Department of City Planning?
Good afternoon, this is Esther Serrato from the Department of City Planning. I'd like to clarify the Council District 11's comments regarding their amendments to add the additional conditions are for a proposed hospital and not a hotel.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no questions or comments from members, I'll move that we adopt this matter as amended.
Second.
Yes.
Seconded by Mr. Blumenfield. Can you call the roll, Mr. Mejia?
Yes. Councilman Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Councilman Bob Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Councilman Curran Price.
Yes.
Councilman Gilbert Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
Councilman John Lee.
Aye.
We have unanimous vote.
Excellent. That matter carries. That takes us to item number 9.
Item 9, committee members, is a categorical exemption from CEQA, a report from the Cultural Heritage Commission relative to the inclusion of the Sycamore Bungalow Court in CD 5 as a historic cultural monument.
Excellent. Any additional comments from Department of City Planning on this?
This is Kevin Keller, City Planning. Melissa, you appear to be muted.
Thank you, Kevin. This is Melissa Jones, Office of Historic Resources with LA City Planning. Good afternoon, Chairman Harris Dawson and members of the committee. Before you today is the Historic Culture Monument nomination for the Sycamore Bungalow Court, a 1926 10-unit multifamily residential complex consisting of 5 two-story bungalows designed by architect Charles E. Finkenbinder in the Spanish Colonial Revival architectural style. Upon review of the nomination against the 3 criteria of the Cultural Heritage Ordinance and testimony provided at the public hearing, the Cultural Heritage Commission found the subject property meets 2 of the 3 criteria for designation. The Commission found that it exemplifies significant contributions to the broad cultural, economic, or social history of the nation, state, city, or community for its association with the rapid development of Hollywood and its surrounding areas in the 1920s. In addition, the Commission found that the Sycamore Bungalow Court embodies the distinctive characteristics of a style, type, period, or method of construction as an excellent and intact example of a two-story bungalow court in the Spanish colonial revival style in Hollywood. Based on these findings, the Cultural Heritage Commission unanimously recommended declaring the property an historic culture monument. This concludes my report. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions or comments from members on this matter? Seeing none, I'll move that we adopt this inclusion as amended.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Blumenfeld. Can you call the roll, Mr. Mejia?
Just one clarification, Councilman. I don't think there's an amendment to this item. It was just the approval.
So the motion will be to approve the
historic cultural designation. The roll, Councilman, is Councilmember Harris Dawson as chair. Councilmember Bob Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Councilmember Curran Price.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilbert Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
Councilmember John Lee.
Aye.
A unanimous vote.
Thank you. That moves us to item number 11.
Councilman, would you like to consider item 10 sequentially or skip to 11?
I would like to consider item 10. You're correct. Thank you for that.
Item 10, Mr. Chairman, this is a categorical exemption from CEQA, along with the findings and the report from City Planning and an appeal filed by Margarita Lopez from the Coalition of Equitable Westlake MacArthur Park relative to the construction of a 50 multifamily dwelling along with affordable units, 5 extremely low-income units. The project is situated in CD1.
Excellent. Is there additional information on this matter from Department of City Planning?
Hi, this is, good afternoon, council members. This is Lillian Rubio with the Department of City Planning. This CEQA appeal appeals of a TOC project. Staff has responded to the appeal points, made transmittal submitted to the council file on September 11, 2020. In addition, staff is in receipt of a letter from the appellant submitted to the council file this morning. In response, staff would like to clarify that the project and related projects will not result in cumulative impacts with regard to public services or infrastructure. Further, the project does not constitute unusual circumstances, and it has been designed and approved in accordance with the TOC guidelines. For these reasons mentioned, staff recommends that the CEQA appeal be denied. I'm available for any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this matter? Seeing none, I'll move that we deny the appeal.
Other questions?
Second.
Been seconded.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, and I'm going to have some time.
Someone needs to mute so that Mr. Mejia can call the roll on this. Thank you.
So the action being to deny the appeal and thereby approve the project, Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson as chairman.
Yes.
Councilmember Bob Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Councilmember Curran Price.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilbert Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
Councilmember John Lee.
Aye.
A unanimous vote.
Excellent. That carries. That moves us to item number 11.
Committee members, item 11 includes the environmental impact report, the mitigation measures, the mitigation monitoring program, and related CEQA findings, a resolution for a general plan amendment, a draft vesting zone change ordinance with a height district change, and an appeal that was filed by the applicant, Samuel Simon, and this relates to the construction of a new mixed-use building located in CD 13.
Any additional information or testimony from Department of City Planning on this?
Chair, this is Jason McCrae, Department of City Planning. No, at this time, thank you.
Excellent. Any questions or comments from members on this matter? Seeing none, I'll move that we approve the general plan amendment.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Blumenfeld. Mr. Mejia?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, also along with the approval of the general plan amendment, Councilman, and the EIR, we need to take action on the appeal that was submitted.
So the action will be to both grant the appeal and approve the general plan amendment. We can do that in one shot.
Okay. And in addition, Councilman, there were changes that were presented by CD 13 as to affordable housing conditions. City planning also submitted revised findings, and also CD 13 concur with some condition modifications requested by the applicant. You would also need to act on those.
So the motion would be inclusive of all those amendments and changes.
Very good.
To approve the general plan and grant the appeal.
Excellent. So we will be granting the appeal.
Yes.
Okay. By the applicant. So the roll call, Councilman, is Councilman Harris Dawson.
Yes.
As chair. Councilman Bob Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Councilmember Kern Price.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilbert Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
Councilmember John Lee.
Aye.
That's a unanimous vote.
Excellent. That takes us to item number 12.
Item 12, committee members, this is a Sustainable Communities Project exemption, otherwise known as a SCIPI, and the report from the Planning Department relative to compliance with CEQA for a proposed mixed-use project located in CD4.
Excellent. Is there any additional testimony or information from Department of City Planning on this matter?
Good afternoon, Council. Michelle Carter with LA City Planning. I just wanted to reiterate that what is before you this afternoon is a SCIPI for a proposed mixed-use development. We have submitted to you for your consideration the SCIPI determination and planning's responses to public comments, which you have received, and we are also available for any additional questions you may have.
Excellent. And if there's nothing else from the council district, members, are there any questions or comments on this matter? Mr. Blumenfield, I just hope that's you turning up your volume rather than raising your hand. Okay. Very good. So I'll move that we approve the project exemption from CEQA. There's a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blumenfield. Mr. Mejia?
Do you want me to call the roll, Councilman, for the
Yes,
other
sir.
members?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Harris Dawson as chairman.
Yes.
Councilmember Bob Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Councilmember Kern Price.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilbert Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
Councilmember John Lee.
Aye.
Unanimous vote.
Excellent. That motion carries. We will, without objection, continue item number 1 to a date uncertain. And with that, Mr. Mejia, can you conclude that completes our business for today's agenda?
Mr. Chairman, that completes the agenda for today.
Excellent. Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you all so much.
Sure.
Bye-bye.